Hello, you guys. Welcome back to Channel Claire. I hope that you're doing well wherever you are in this crazy, crazy world. Now, I want to know what it is with housewives and DUIs. As you know, Shannon Medore had a DUI last year. There was video of her coming around the corner, clipping a house, and she had Archie, her dog, in the back of the car as well, and it was a whole ordeal. She is on Real Housewives of OC and is returning for this new season. Now we are hearing about Karen Huger, who is on Real Housewives of Potomac, who totaled her Maserati a couple days ago. TMZ just reported on it yesterday. And she has a DUI, okay? Now, Karen has immediately put out a statement once the news was released saying that she is struggling and has been struggling. Her mother passed, I believe last year, very recent, within the couple of years. And with Mother's Day coming up in a couple of months, she's been struggling. And my mother is everything to me, and I can't negate that statement. I know a lot of people are saying, oh, Mother's Day isn't till a couple months from now. It's an excuse, this, that, and the other. At the end of the day, drinking and driving is wrong. It's horrible. It's bad. I'm just saying, as far as this being her excuse, I can't negate that because I know my mother is everything, and it's just going to be a mess, you know what I mean? So I'm not negating that drinking and driving is bad. It is horrible because you're putting your own life in danger and you're putting other people's lives in danger. It's not just you that you're affecting when you decide to get in a car and drive when you're under the influence. So, and we all need to have this reminder not to do that. Like, because sometimes it's like, oh, I have a couple of drinks, I'm okay. And then you get in the car, you drive. Like, even that we really shouldn't be doing. So I'm really sorry to hear about Karen having this incident, and it's shaken her up. She's, I'm sure, in shock. It totaled her Maserati. And so we're going to read what's going on with Karen. I think that if she is on next season on Potomac, they're going to come for her heavy on this. I've already seen Charisse decide to make commentary on this whole situation. I don't think it's anything funny. I don't think it's something to laugh at. It's actually very sad because to do that, same with Shannon, to do that, you have to be in a pretty low place, to the point where you're drinking that much and deciding to get into a car. You have to be in a low place. There's a lot going on. And there's no excuse for it at the same time because these ladies have money. They can get an Uber. They can call a friend to come get them. There's so many ways nowadays for you not to have to drink and drive, So let's pull up this article. Like I said, TMZ dropped a story yesterday, and it says Real Housewives of Potomac star Karen Huger is charged with DUI. This is not good. In connection to crash. Karen Huger has been charged with driving under the influence and hit with several other traffic violations in connection with her car crash this week. According to online court records, the Real Housewives of Potomac star is facing one count of DUI over Tuesday night's wreck. So this was Tuesday, which notes she has to make a mandatory court appearance to answer for it. She's facing an additional DWI, so I guess that's driving while intoxicated, and then DUI is driving under the influence. So she's facing an additional charge for the DWI charge as well here. I wonder what the difference is. There are several other alleged infractions she's been dinged with too, per the docket, that touch on everything from negligent and reckless driving to driving way over the speed limit and driving with a suspended registration. Oh, they're like that registration thing. Oof. The 6 traffic violations she was cited with don't require court appearances and have fines attached ranging from $50 to $510. Cops told us Karen struck a median and a crosswalk sign at an intersection before continuing on and colliding with a parking sign off the roadway. Oh my gosh, Karen, what was happening, honey? The car itself was badly damaged, but Karen told us she was doing fine after the accident, which she chalked up to driving while in a super emotional state. So I guess she's saying possibly she was crying and, but they are saying she was under the influence. I know they do tests from sobriety field tests for that and whatnot. So I guess she had something in her system. But I can imagine being highly emotional, crying. You got the alcohol in you, and then next thing you know, boom. She was in no shape to be behind the wheel of a car. I don't know where she was coming from and where she was trying to go to, but no shape to be behind the wheel of a car. Like, even when you're not under the influence and when you're super emotional, you have to like calm yourself down so that you're in the right mind frame to drive and proceed safely. Because again, it's not just you who you have to think about. You have to think about everybody else who was on the road with you. Huger says this answers my question. Huger says she went to dinner with a friend where she said she says the two talked about some pretty emotional topics, including Karen's deceased mother, saying it left her bawling while trying to drive home, and she says she swerved to avoid a car coming directly at her. Huger did note she received citations, one in which she says was not related to the incident, but made no mention of being intoxicated or arrested in her statement to cops. Was she arrested? Cops didn't tell us that she had been arrested either. Okay. And there's no record of her having been booked in their jail. So they gave her this citation and let her go home? If she was driving under influence, I don't see, or did they give her a ride home? Because she was still under the influence or super emotional. Montgomery County PD says the reasons charges weren't mentioned earlier Wednesday is because all that was available at the time was a preliminary collision report, and that a police report would have further info. We haven't obtained the police report just yet, but clearly cops felt something criminal had happened here. Evidence in the court update. We reached out to Huger for a further comment. So far, no word back. So I'm really sad for Karen, and I know just based off of the work that she does and being on Potomac, which their seasons have gotten really, really dark, and they are so ready to attack each other over every single thing. I have a feeling that she's going to come into this new season, and they are going to come for her. And my advice to Karen is to be open, honest, be vulnerable, and just keep it real with what the fuck happened, because they're going to try to pick apart your story. They're not going to have sympathy because, unfortunately, Karen talks about people too. Yes, she is saying is because she's emotional for the passing of her mother, but I hope the ladies take that into account. At the end of the day, it's not an excuse to drink and drive, but I don't feel like she's going to be shown much sympathy at all. And I think that Giselle may come at her quite a bit because they have this thing going on. But then on the other hand, I just saw in the last episode that Giselle is having her father is going through a hard time medically, and when things like that happen, it could kind of it can soften you and make you realize what's more important in life. You know what I mean? And potentially, I'm not sure if Giselle's father is still here. I hope that he is. But when you lose a parent, I don't even want to think about it. So I hope that they give her some sympathy, but also give her tough love, because she knows that she shouldn't have been doing that. She shouldn't have been drinking and driving. It's uncalled for, and it's unnecessary. And unfortunately, she is going to have to suffer the consequences of making that decision. So that's what's happening here with Karen Huger. She did have this car accident where she messed her Maserati up. I just hope that she's taking care and taking some time just to be low-key. And I don't know if maybe she's going to go in to do some treatment, because there are rumors that she's had a DUI in the past, allegedly. There's alleged rumors from Charisse that she was in a rehab, allegedly, in the past, years ago, but she didn't really finish it. So they're already trying to come from her, from what I can see from Charisse on IG. And I just think that Karen really is going to have to be open and honest and fall on her sword and just take it. She's gonna have to take it, because driving under the influence is just, it's unacceptable. And when you're putting people's lives in danger, it's really not okay. This is what Charisse had to say. She can keep practicing her lies in the mirror as she prepares for the reunion, and she can keep wishing my coins would go away. They won't. At the end of the day, truly, Original and Bravo can continue to clean up to make her look like whatever her delusion mind wants to be. She makes for good TV. The real reality is Karen Huger is still one of the local drunks in Potomac, which I remember Charisse making this comment. I'm like, what? And now here we go with this DUI. But she says, Karen Huger is still one of the local drunks of Potomac. Instead of thinking about me, she should think about going back to rehab and redo the program that she never completed many years ago. Happy Sunday, everyone. And I'm just like, oh my God. That is just... Charisse could not wait to jump in to this whole ordeal and just throw... Like, I don't like kicking people when they're down. So, like, yes, I'm talking about this, but it's more so, like, because we need to talk about drinking and driving because we need to not do it. It is something shameful, and you should be ashamed when you do it. And I'm trying to come out of a place of love and concern and sympathy because I am concerned. Driving in that state is not okay. And I hope that Karen really does decide to get help. I know that Shannon went to a program as well when she had her issues with drinking and after her DUI. And she seems to be on the other side of it, but she's really going to have to take ownership over this. And the best thing that she could do is come out and say, hey guys, I did this. I take full accountability. Yes, I may have been emotional, but that does not make an excuse for me getting behind the wheel of a car and drinking while driving. Well, driving while being under the influence. And I strongly urge you not to do the same because this could be you. So I'm going to leave it at that. I hope that you all have a great rest of your day.